Marie Osmond's public image has long been one of warmth, joy, and effortless charm. From a young age, she appeared to embody optimism, becoming a comforting presence for audiences who admired her voice and personality. Yet behind that polished exterior was a far more complex and demanding reality. Her early life was shaped by high expectations, strict discipline, and a constant need to perform. Growing up in a large and ambitious family, she quickly learned that approval often came through achievement rather than simple affection. While others saw a bright and cheerful child star, she was quietly adapting to a world where love felt conditional. This contrast between public admiration and private pressure defined much of her journey, reminding us that even the most radiant figures can carry unseen burdens beneath their smiles. A childhood without ordinary freedom, Marie's early years were far from typical. While most children spent their days exploring, playing, and discovering themselves, her life revolved around rehearsals, performances, and expectations. Starting at an incredibly young age, she was introduced to a professional environment that demanded discipline and perfection. Requests for rest or play were often dismissed, reinforcing the belief that productivity mattered more than personal comfort. This environment shaped her understanding of self-worth, making it closely tied to what she could accomplish rather than who she was as a person. Although this upbringing gave her resilience and a strong work ethic, it also created a quiet sense of isolation. She learned to present confidence and happiness outwardly, even when she felt pressure internally. Over time, her natural charm became less of a carefree expression and more of a necessary skill for navigating the demands placed upon her. Early trauma and lessons in survival. One of the most defining moments of Marie's early life came when she experienced a near-fatal accident during a trip abroad. Stranded in open water after a boating mishap, she endured fear, physical discomfort, and exhaustion. Despite the severity of the incident, she was expected to quickly return to her professional responsibilities. This response reinforced a powerful lesson. Personal struggles were secondary to performance. The experience left a lasting impression, teaching her to suppress fear and discomfort in order to keep moving forward. While others saw her continue to shine on stage, internally, she was learning how to detach from pain and function under pressure. This ability to endure difficult situations became a core part of her identity. It highlights how early challenges can shape a person's coping mechanisms, often creating strength on the surface, while leaving deeper emotional impacts that take years to fully understand. The pressure to be perfect. As Marie entered her teenage years, the expectations surrounding her only intensified. Her public image had become firmly established, and maintaining it required constant effort. One of the most difficult aspects was the pressure to meet specific standards of appearance. Her struggles with body image and dieting were not just about looking a certain way, but were deeply tied to her sense of control and self-worth. She began to internalize the idea that success and acceptance depended on meeting these expectations. The mirror became a source of judgment rather than self-reflection, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. While fans admired her confidence and beauty, she was quietly battling insecurities that many could not see. This period of her life illustrates how external praise does not always translate into internal confidence, and how the pursuit of perfection can create emotional strain that remains hidden behind a composed exterior. Complex journeys through love and relationships Marie's personal relationships reflected both her desire for connection and the challenges of maintaining it under public scrutiny. Early romantic experiences brought moments of joy and companionship, but were often short-lived due to the demands of her career. Her first marriage offered hope for stability and a sense of normalcy, but its eventual end brought emotional pain and self-reflection. A second marriage allowed her to build a large family, which became a central part of her life. However, even within that family structure, emotional distance and challenges emerged over time. From the outside, her life appeared full of love and fulfillment, but internally she navigated complexities that are common in many relationships, especially those influenced by fame and pressure. Her experiences remind us that relationships require more than appearances, and that even strong bonds can face difficulties when life's demands become overwhelming. The challenge of balancing family and career. Managing a demanding career while raising a large family required extraordinary effort and dedication. Marie took on the responsibility of caring for 8 children while continuing to fulfill her professional commitments. This balancing act came with physical exhaustion and emotional strain, particularly as the years progressed. By the mid-2000s, the weight of these responsibilities began to take a toll on her well-being. Despite feelings of fatigue and moments of depression, she continued to show up for both her family and her audience. Her strength during this time was not just about endurance, but also about her deep sense of responsibility and love. She demonstrated that resilience often means continuing to function even when energy is depleted. Her story highlights the reality that balancing multiple roles can be incredibly challenging, and that perseverance often involves navigating both visible responsibilities and invisible emotional struggles. Experiencing deep and lasting grief. One of the most heartbreaking chapters of Marie's life came with the loss of her son. This tragedy brought an overwhelming sense of grief that reshaped her perspective on life and love. The pain of losing a child is profound, often accompanied by feelings of helplessness and unanswered questions. For Marie, this loss was not something that could be easily processed or overcome. It became a part of her emotional landscape, influencing how she viewed her role as a mother and as an individual. Despite this immense sorrow, she found ways to continue her work, using it as a source of structure and stability. Her ability to keep going does not diminish the depth of her grief, but instead shows the complexity of human resilience. It reminds us that people can carry deep pain while still finding ways to move forward, even when life feels permanently altered. Turning pain into advocacy and connection. Rather than keeping her struggles hidden, Marie chose to speak openly about her experiences with depression, grief, and the pressures of her upbringing. By sharing her story, she created a sense of connection with others who may be facing similar challenges. Her openness helps break the stigma surrounding mental health, encouraging conversations that are often avoided. Through her advocacy, she demonstrates that vulnerability can be a source of strength rather than weakness. She uses her platform not only to entertain, but also to support and inspire others. This shift from private suffering to public advocacy reflects a deeper understanding of resilience. It shows that healing often involves connection and honesty, and that sharing one's story can provide comfort and validation to those who feel alone in their struggles. A legacy defined by strength and humanity. Marie Osmond's life is a powerful example of what it means to endure and persevere. While her public image is one of joy and success, her personal journey reveals the challenges and hardships that have shaped her. From a demanding childhood to the pressures of fame, from personal struggles to profound loss, she has navigated each stage with determination and grace. Her legacy is not just about her achievements, but about her ability to remain compassionate and present despite adversity. She reminds us that strength is not the absence of pain, but the willingness to continue despite it. Her story encourages a deeper understanding of others, showing that behind every bright smile, there may be unseen struggles, and that true resilience lies in the courage to keep going while holding on to love and purpose.